Okay, this is just a review of the different forms of precipitation and the reasons for them. Okay, you have to remember that the clouds up in the atmosphere all contain ice crystals. They, because it's so cold up there, the water that forms in a cloud forms ice crystals. So here's the 4 different forms of precipitation. First there's rain and snow and sleet and hail. And what happens is when the cloud gets too full and the air below the cloud is warm, the ice crystals melt and you get rain. When the cloud gets too full and the air below the cloud is cold, the ice crystals will drop and they won't melt, so then you'll get snow. In instances where there is warm and cold fronts, if a cold front comes in, we have to remember that the warm air will always rise. Warm air always rises because it's less dense. Cold air is much more dense. And what happens is the ice crystals will fall when the cloud gets too full, and they'll melt because the air right below it is warm. And then as they fall even further, the cold air that's below that will actually sort of refreeze the raindrop, and you'll get a half-frozen raindrop. And sleet, that's what sleet is. It's half-frozen rain. And then hail actually usually happens when it's warm, which is unusual because hail is little balls of ice. But what happens is the snowflake falls, or the ice crystal falls, and it melts. And when we have hailstorms, it's usually when a cold front comes into a warm area, and we get lots and lots of wind. And what happens is the wind comes up and picks up that rain before it gets down to the ground and pushes it back up. And that rain actually will attach to one of the ice crystals and freeze. And then, you know, they'll keep falling, and the ice crystals will fall, and they won't melt because they're a little bit bigger than normal. They'll get pushed back up, and more rain will come, and you'll just get a building of the hailstone. Now, if it's really windy, you'll get big hailstones, and if it's not very windy, you'll get small hailstones. But it generally occurs when there is warm weather, which is kind of unusual.